Now you're getting much more warmer, you're chatting now a little bit. The next thing you want to do is control where his eyes go, where he's looking. Why would you want to control where he's looking? Anybody? Why would you want to do that? Sorry? That's true, but I'm looking for a percentage here.
Pupils.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for a percentage, but pupils is not a percentage. Why would I want to control where he's looking? 87%, absolutely right. 87% of what's convincing him is coming through his eyes. Remember that? It was only about half an hour ago. 87% of what's convincing him is coming through his eyes. If you can control where he's looking, you're controlling 87% of what's convincing him, and that's powerful. And you can do that, in actual fact. You can control where people look. I'll give you an example. Imagine you're walking down the street, okay? And at the end of the street, there's half a dozen people, and they're all looking to the top of a building. What do you have to do? You have to look up, don't you? And you don't want to look up, and you say, I'm not going to look up. No, not me, I'm not going to look up. No, I don't care, they can do what they... Oh, yes, I am. And look up, you're forced into it, because their gaze is controlling your gaze. Now, you can use exactly the same principle to control where people are looking when it's just one-to-one. And it would be done something like this. I need to borrow this, and I need a little bit of help here. Would you give me a hand with this, please? Thank you very much. What's your name? Tayo. Okay. Now imagine that Tayo, I was selling to Tayo, or I just wanted him to go through my brochure, but the same works if you were going through your CV, perhaps, or going through some figures with the bank manager. The principle's the same. If Tayo and I were standing together, I might go through it something like this. You see this investment here, this 25%, now that's the estimated return on investment. Here there's 15% here, you see it's the minimum return, 40% here. Now he doesn't know where to look. He's looking down here, he wishes he was sitting back over there somewhere. He just doesn't know where, definitely. Now, if you were to use a pen or a pointer or something like that, and if you looked at the top of the pen, then he would probably do the same thing. And you can control where his eyes goes simply by doing that. It goes something like this. See here, this 25% here, now that's the estimated return on investment. There's 15% here, you see it? The minimum return. See, there. He follows your gaze, you look at the top, he follows the pen, and then you start talking, you grab his attention. Now when he's looking at you, and he's also taking in what you have to say. If they don't do it, this is what you do, okay? I want you to fight it this time, okay? Don't look at it. If they don't do it, you do something like this. You see here, there's 25% here. Now that's the estimated return on investment. Thank you very much. Sit down there. If they don't do it, stop talking. Very important. You stop talking. So there's this silence. And he's wondering, what should I be doing now? And then he looks back up at you. Then you start again. You just carry on going. If they're not looking at you, they're not listening to you. So, control where their eyes go. Now, interestingly enough, you'll notice that the 4 minutes is just about up now. And you still haven't talked about the reason why you're there. And that often happens, doesn't it? If you're in a meeting, those first 4 minutes, you may not even introduce the subject that you're going to be talking about. But the important thing here is that the impression is created, and that's what's important. The rest of the meeting will be a very simple thing for you, because you've created exactly the right impression. And that's what this is all about here today. Let's just have a quick look at the things we've been talking about this afternoon. Firstly, rule number 1, know what you want to be. In advance of a meeting, before you go and see a customer, decide exactly what impression you want to create with that customer. Know what you want to be. Very important. If you don't do this, you're going to miss out on all the opportunities that you have got in order to create just that right impression. Rule number 2 is to look what you want to be. 87% of what's convincing your customer comes through his eyes. So you need to look the part first before the words you use. 10 times more important, looking the part, than the words you use. Rule number 3 is to act what you want to be. Act what you want to be. And in this section, we looked at the sort of body language that you're going to be using in those first 4 minutes. Body language is an important communication tool. You're using it all the time. Learn how to use it better. Become more professional with your body language. And finally, rule number 4 was to take control. When you go at your meetings, whoever you're meeting, take control of that meeting. Take it back. Be in control. In applying these rules, 4 simple rules, but by applying these rules you will create whatever impression you want to create at the beginning of the meeting, and the rest of the meeting will be very smooth indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.